Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What are the cons of not having kids? Nobody will ever be as impressed with you as your own 4-year-old. I made rolls that didn't rise once and she ate 3. I am a biology major and I can tell her very basic things about sharks or birds and blow her mind. I taught her how to play Mario Kart and she congratulates me on doing well every time we play. Even if I did an objectively poor job. She tells me good job for going to the bathroom. I'll never have this kind of support again in my life. Every day when we get home from school, I give my son a snack. And he says, "It's great to have a dad like you." Little man, I am literally handing you a bag of sour cream and cheddar chips, but thank you. I had a similar experience with my son. He told me I'm the number one dad. I asked him how he knew that. He told me he Googled it. Well son, I can't argue with that. Nothing more amazing when the student becomes the teacher. It was a special moment to me when my son was able to tell me facts. Or when my other son was able to beat a game I couldn't. It's amazing to see them grow from sponges to everyone you eat, to actually see them seeking out knowledge and excited to share it with you. I'm very computer savvy, always have been. I work in software. When I had a kid, I knew there would come a day when they would show me how to do something I didn't know how to do on the computer. I just didn't expect it to happen when they were 6. My 7-year-old boy and I had a magical moment playing Paper Mario, the Origami King, together. There's a point about 3/4 of the way through the game where you're dropped into a game show. And you have the option of playing a sudden death round. Based on one question. From these 4 choices, pick the one that matches the lyrics from a song that you heard in the first 1/4 of the game. My memory is shite. I guessed. After a tense moment, the womp womp sound played and Mario got launched out of a cannon over the horizon. Wrong answer. Game over. Boy was crushed. I said we should try again and that we'd get it right this time. We replayed up to the game show again. Again, we got a question about a different song this time. "Daddy, it's B," he said. "I'm pretty sure it's C," I said. "No, it's B. I know it's B." Quote. The clock was ticking down to 0. We had to guess. "Okay, buddy." Quote. I hit B. A tense moment later, the screen burst into fireworks and applause. Immediately, I leapt out of my seat, laughing and overjoyed, and gave him a huge hug. He beamed like the sun with happiness. We celebrated together that he'd gotten it right. About once every 3 months, he brings up that game show, and I tell him how proud I was of him, and we share a moment of joy together. It's hard to explain the special moments with kids. Something so mundane can happen that just grabs your heart and makes you wish harder than you've ever wished for anything before, that you could freeze time and just stay in that moment with your child forever. Like the other day, my 17-year-old son can be your typical crunchy teen, and sometimes he's such a tough nut to crack. You know, it's pretty common to think teens don't care about anyone. But I've just learned recently that I'm sick. And just like everything, it's hard to know how he feels. I was taking a nap the other day and I woke up to him hugging me. He must have been checking on me and saw me sleeping and just wanted to hug me for some reason. It was like he was little again. Those are the moments. My girlfriend has kids that I've known for a while before we started dating, so we have a pretty cool relationship. My mom was fostering a dog for about a year and my GF decided to adopt her and finally brought her home today, and the kids went absolutely mental. Her daughters have my phone number, mostly for emergencies. But today my phone was flooded with pictures of the girls and the dog cuddling and messages thanking me for getting him a dog and about 1 million, "I love you." Quote. Texts. I normally hate when my phone goes off because I don't particularly like talking on the phone or texting. Today was different and damn near made me cry about a dozen times. Best day in a long while, and I plan on having one of the pictures framed and kept in my office to look at when I'm having a crappy day at work. I've never wanted kids, but these girls make me want to be a better man, as absolutely fucking cheesy as that sounds. If you are an introvert, you can make new lasting friends from parent groups because you have a lot of child playdate activities. It's not something that should be looked down on because even quiet autistic fathers get to socialize with the pretext of attending children's events along with their wife. I chose not to have kids, and honestly I'd say this is the biggest con to me. Making friends as an adult without kids is nearly impossible. You don't meet people through school functions, etc. Plus the people you do meet usually have kids, and so schedules do not line up. You don't have as much in common. People you like with kids are often very busy. Understandably, of course, and are much harder to make plans with. Agreed. As a child-free adult in their 30s, my friends are all either a decade younger or a decade older than me. Finding friends is more difficult. The younger friends want to go out later and the older ones just don't always relate as well. It's a gray area for my age group. You don't have the same perception of time. When I run into a friend and his kids have aged 10 years, you realize how old you are. The days are long, but the years are short. Potential loneliness when older. Less obvious who to pass assets on to after death. The upside is whoever decides to be closest to me during my lifetime will get a very delightful surprise when I pass. Had an older neighbor. She never married, never had children. She was the last of her family. When she passed away, she left everything to her physical therapist. The older neighbor had fallen and broken her hip. She was bedridden for months. Her physical therapist was the closest person she had and knew when her health had suddenly declined from the bad fall. It kind of surprised a lot of us. When I die, bury me with my 3060 T.